Hey, it's Jave, and we're hanging out here with, I'm going to stand between the two Matts, Matt with one T and Matt with two T's.
Yes, the right way to spell it. Right
from Ashes to New, Matt Brandyberry.
You got it right, man.
Which almost sounds like a nice wine.
I've heard
cheap
that.
wine.
A cheap whiskey grape every
more like a bottom shelf.
Yeah. You've been kind of the one constant in the band. Was there something prophetic in just the name From Ashes to New, considering that you guys have undergone entire lineup changes?
It became here. Let me bring this over here.
There
we go. It became something real after all that. In the beginning, it was a lyric, and it really meant a lot to my life because I had gone through a really hard time with struggling with addiction and kind of burning myself to the ground and having to rebuild it all. So the band was the forefront of it, rebuilding it, and then the band went through it as well. So it was a pretty crazy thing how that all happened.
What do you think, looking back, to 2015 and earlier, has been your biggest lesson with all the member changes that you're going to go, oh, I'm not going to repeat that again?
Don't let negativity consume you. I think that what happened is a lot of negativity, just jealousy and just things that you probably shouldn't worry about as a band or as a person. Kind of came into our camp and it just spiraled out of control and consumed us, and it just turned into something that wasn't, it was very toxic.
Right.
So now we're all just positive. We just laugh and joke all the time and have a lot of fun. And I think that's the best way to go about what you're doing, especially as a band. You're on the road. You live with each other all the time. So you have to like each other at the same time. If there's that moment, you kind of just have to walk away from it. And I think that's what we all do very well.
Now, you guys have experienced quite a bit of success with the song Crazy. But from what I understand, the song itself was almost an afterthought, right? After the album was written, did you ever consider that this is going to be the first single? And for a lot of people, even though the band has been around for a bit, that is the introduction, the song Crazy, to From Ashes to New.
Well, the first record that day one, when we came out with that record, Through It All was our biggest single, and that was an afterthought. So when we did, The Future, the label wanted another song, and we thought we had the songs. We were like, hey, no, we got these songs. And they're like, well, just give us one more. And we went to L.A., and we wrote a song in L.A., and that wasn't it. We went to New York. We wrote a song in New York and never ended up being anything. We had never done co-writes before, so then we went back into my little studio, and we wrote Crazy. Okay. And it was, what was it, guys, like 6 to 8 hours in the studio? And
six to 8 hours the night before, and then we were like, we don't know if this is going to work at all. And then we just had the tempo and the key structure that we wanted to work in. Sent over an idea to our producer that we worked on the whole album with, and then he had the same idea and the same tempo and key and everything, and we just merged the two that we had together, and it was a day. It was like 8 hours in the studio and finished the song.
For one song. So, Matt, you say that this was a co-write.
Yeah, so, we did this one with our producer.
Okay.
That we've done everything with. So this one wasn't necessarily a co-write, but they were searching for a co-write to get Crazy done, and it didn't end up that way. We co-wrote a song called Nowhere to Run that's on our record. It's the only co-write on our record.
Okay, and Crazy can, when you just listen to the lyrical content, it can go, it can be relatable to anybody who's dealing with a personal struggle or even the current political climate in the country and the vibe of division in the country. Did you have that in mind when you were writing the lyrics to that song?
Actually, yes. It's awesome that you say that, because we always get the question, like, who's that about? What person is that about? And on stage, I talk about how it is about whatever you're struggling with in life, that, be it an addiction or, it is a significant other, like you said, political climate, something that plagues you and it's bad for you, but you keep going back to it. So that's what we had in mind when we wrote the song. So the fact that you were able to nail that down was really good, man.
Well, and I also know that you guys are huge fans of Linkin Park. Tell me about the effect that the loss of Chester had on the band, and did it help you kind of reevaluate where you were and maybe your behavior on the road, or some of the personal demons that we've all got, addressing that a little bit?
Yeah, I think that when all that went down with Chester, I think it was really eye-opening to go, okay, anybody can go through this. It's not just the normal guy in the normal walk of life. It can be as high up as Chester Bennington, who's iconic in the industry that we're in,
or Chris Cornell right before him.
Absolutely, and it was all kind of tied together. So. It was definitely eye-opening, and I think that you were asking earlier about the cover that we do, and we don't do any cover songs, but the one cover song that we do is "Heavy" and "Paper" mashed up.
Okay, the song "Heavy" from Collective Soul. Yes.
No. Heavy from Linkin Park. But the idea was we weren't going to do a cover, and we were kind of, I want to say forced into doing a cover, but we had a scenario where we had to do a cover, and we decided we were just going to do it. We were just going to do a Linkin Park song, and for the longest time we got the comparisons, obviously, because we have rock and we have rap, and people are always like, oh, you sound like Linkin Park, and we always kind of did the Greta thing and steered away from the sound that we actually are. And right. Then at this point we were just like, you know what, we're going to embrace it. These guys were so inspirational to who we are. Like, there's no reason to run away from who inspired us.
Dynamite. Matt, I appreciate the time today. The band is From Ashes to New.